like really love this person. Well, I know, and the response, a response I've seen or heard is, well, I know that they'll be able to support me financially.
So it's a safe choice at that point. It's not like, yeah.
How much should my desire to be married affect my partner choice?
My answer would be pretty much 0. Like, it doesn't mean that you're going out and you're dating somebody without the aspect of getting married.
Now we're getting real comfortable here.
Now it's getting to good. So we just finished a shift thing not too long ago. A shift group, I shouldn't say thing. Yeah. And Cassie, you've been doing therapy for decades. I don't know how many years or decades, but we'll say decades. It's been definitely more than 10.
Because I started when I was 15.
Yeah. You see, right. Those are the unpaid intern years. And then I've been doing soft skills training in communications and diversity and a lot of stuff based around relationships. And I also had in my magazine, which was the highest selling men's wedding magazine for a little while in America. So grew that out. So the whole relationship thing is something we focused on in our own tracks for the longest time. And then when we came together, and it wasn't something we planned, we were just looking for love. And then we came together and we realized down this road that we're like, oh, wait a minute, it would be great, because it was a big mission of yours to do like relationship coaching for women who wanted someone, who were looking for somebody.
Yeah, I found myself just naturally in spaces and places where I was talking to and in community with, and was one myself.
Yeah.
Single, looking for a life partner. And as we got together and we're meeting people as a couple.
Yeah.
And then it just sort of like evolved out of that, and people like our single friends and wanting to talk to us and ask us questions and sort of like pick our brains as married people and just sit in this same living room.
Right.
With us just asking us questions and us just being like totally open and honest and vulnerable.
We come from different backgrounds, because and we're not talking about the apparent visible background. We're talking about the background that like you got married late in life and hadn't dated anybody. Like,
I didn't have a lot of like,
you weren't close to that marriage thing.
Right.
Yeah. And then on the other hand, you have me, who had been in a 15-year relationship and had been married 13 years by the time we got a chance to meet, and had gone through the struggle of marriage and kids and all that stuff. And so we bring those different aspects in as to like, what is this relationship thing? And so I think that's cool that we bring that in the shift. So since we do that and people ask us questions, we're just going to go down. We got some questions. You haven't seen them. I wrote them down a while ago. I don't remember what I wrote down on half of them. So we'll pick a question and we're just going to talk,
Yeah. And this is coming out of like many different people in our lives saying like, you guys should just do this and you guys should have a podcast. And I've always,
you hate this concept.
Like I've always been the one that's like, absolutely not. Yeah, this is not my jam. So it's like many different people who are unrelated to one another,
right? Like
telling us like, you should just sit down and like record your conversations that you have in your living room, in your kitchen,
which is what we're trying to do.
Right.
I feel like this bothers me, but we're trying it this way for you this time. I prefer the handheld. This thing, this pole in front of me is bothering me. But
I forgot it was there.
Yeah. See, we'll give it a shot and see what happens. So you want to pick whatchamacallit, or I'm going to let you pick because I didn't put in my contacts today and
okay.
I don't want to put on contacts to try and read.
That must be the one we're supposed to like.
That must be the one.
Okay. How much should my desire to be married affect my partner choice?
Who answers that first?
I mean, you wrote the question, so sometimes I don't always know exactly what the question is asking.
I just picked a line off of like some of those people asked us, and then some of those I was like, all right, let me throw some in the mix that maybe we haven't talked about, so it could feel like more just us in a conversation. And I think I just pulled that off of like Google or something.
Oh, ChatGPT told you this is what single people are wondering.
ChatGPT told me.
This is what you wondered as single.
So anyway, what's the question again?
How much should my desire to be married affect my partner choice?
Okay. I could say the way I think about that is personally and widespread, right? Because there are sometimes that people will go out there with the idea like, I want to be married, or I want to be married by a certain age, or my biological clock is ticking, that thing.
Yeah.
And so people are dating or going out looking at a relationship based on, I have to meet this timeline, or what I've always wanted to be is a mother or a father or something like that. And so they're going into relationships with the idea being, I want to get married. And it's not the idea of being, I think about that differently. It's not the idea of being that I want to get married, so I want to find somebody who suits me. It's the idea of being, I want to get married, so I want to find a husband, wife, or partner. And it's that little split of a line, I think has very big differences for me. Because when you go in with the idea of, I want to find a husband, wife, partner, then you go in with this idea of thinking, does this person work for my ideal relationship vision, as opposed to, does this person really suit me? Make sense?
So are you saying then when people are going into dating and they just want to have fun and they don't want to settle down, that they'll just go with anybody or the person that seems fun or exciting, and then they switch? Like when they said like, oh, I want to settle down, like, oh, I'm gonna.
No, I'm saying that they're going in with
different.
such a specific goal in mind that they then tend to overlook or underlook certain aspects because they want to know the one specific thing is, can I get married to this person? And then they don't look at the broader aspect. Like, does this person make me happy the way I need to be happy? Or does this person bring into my life certain things?
The concept of like, oh, this person would make a good mother or father.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it allows you to remove, and I think remove is the right thing there. I think it allows you to remove certain aspects that would be more beneficial to you finding the correct person, as opposed to having these check marks that you need to tick in order to find a person that fits the role you're looking for. So it's more characteristics for who I need to be with me versus resume marks for the role that I need this person to serve. Make sense? Because it looks like I'm confusing the crowd.
Yeah, I'm confused.
This is nothing new. I tend to do that with you when I'm thinking out loud. It's the idea that because you're defining a person to fit a role versus finding a person to fit you, then you look at it differently.
So how would you then answer, like, how much should my desire to be married affect my partner choice?
My answer would be pretty much 0. Like, it doesn't mean that you're going out and you're dating somebody without the aspect of getting married. I'm not removing that from the equation, but I'm thinking more what you need to do is you need to search for somebody and find somebody that brings fulfillment or adds fulfillment to your life and helps you or allows you or is welcoming to you being the better you or being the full you, and allows you to be or welcomes you being the complete you. Mm-hmm. And then if you find that person, then that person will fit being married, being your partner. But if you're just looking for somebody who's great who could serve a role as your husband, wife, partner, I mean, that's a role that can be filled relatively easily, and that person could be completely wrong for you. Like, if they could make enough money, be the right be the right height, have the right house and credit score and all that good stuff, and they could say that they like you, and you could be like, oh, this is a great husband, wife, partner. But at the same time, this person could be completely wrong for who you are from a personality standpoint.
Yeah. The way that I've seen that in my work is I've like asked the question, like, do you like really love this person? Mm-hmm. Well, I know, and the response, a response I've seen or heard is, well, I know that they'll be able to support me financially.
So it's a safe choice at that point. It's not like, yeah.
So out of curiosity, because we talk a lot in this space, as opposed to like people who are dating, like marrying for the first time.
Yeah.
How is that different for you as someone like the first time versus the second time?
Well, I'm smarter the second time.
Are you?
I don't know.
I would tell you, like, you overcorrected. Overcorrected from one ditch to another.
I went straight over to the other side of the road. No, it's. I think I am smarter the second time because I understood and the reason I can answer that question based on the way I answered it, because there was an aspect of, yes, I want to be a husband, I want to be a father, I want to be, and does this person fulfill that role? And the answer was yes, this person does fulfill that role. Did they fulfill matching me in my characteristics and personalities and my needs and wants and emotionally, mentally, physically? No. No.
Yeah.
I mean, no. Like I generally tend to. I think I have four things I say: emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Yeah.
And the more of the four of those you can get, the better. With you, it's 4 of 4. With my previous marriage, it was 1 of 4. So understanding what I needed in those spaces allowed me to also be able to fill that role, but it also allowed the character and the personality and the needs of who I was as an individual to be filled also. So it's not just filling the role, it's also filling me and filling my life.
Got it.
Now, do you think about that differently from your aspect? Because even though you weren't married until later, and even though I'm your first marriage as far as I know in America,
as far as we both know.
Right. But do you have a different aspect? Because that's one of those things where it's like saying, just because I was married before doesn't mean I necessarily have better knowledge in that space because of you. I just have different experiences to apply to that answer.
Yeah, I think for myself, I'm trying to think back. Like I'm just generally not going to pass my time with people that aren't a good fit for me. Mm-hmm. Whether it's in like friendships, intimate partner, coworkers. Like if we're not jiving, if we can't just like chill, then I'm probably like not going to pass my time with that person.
But how long did it realistically take you to get to that point? Because I know that wasn't like your whole life wasn't like that.
I mean, I feel like a large portion of my life is like if we're not
there is some point where you're like, you might not have said, I don't need to deal with you as easily.
I mean, I'm even thinking just like friendships, and if it's like, yeah, I'm just not like our energy is just not matching. So,
Yeah.
So like I don't feel like myself, or I don't want to say the word like uneasy.
Yeah.
But
So you say my energy isn't matching. Like, what does that look like for you? And then what it looked like for you, did you feel differently about that energy in relationships? Like, was the reading of those two things different from just a friendship to a romantic relationship perspective?
I think I have probably like more knowledge and language to put around that now in my life than before. Like I am an intuitive, like trust your gut person. And so sometimes I wouldn't have know why or what it was, but just like something just felt off.
Yeah.
Something just didn't feel like that's the clinical term, like grr, inside you, like something just not right. With grr, that's and because sometimes I would meet people and just in passing, it's just something's not
right.
Something's not sitting right with me with that person. I can't put my finger on it, but
I know it's there.
Yeah, I know it's there. Whereas an adult now, I know that person is just not for me. Like we have different energies. And if you spend your time around a person that is constantly taking or absorbing the energy in the room, surely you've been around people like that, then you leave feeling exhausted.
Right.
And so I don't recall, and maybe there is a time in my life, but I don't recall a large portion of my life where I intentionally made the decision to be around that.
Mm. Okay.
So even in dating, if it was thank you for the coffee or whatever, but
this ain't it.
Yeah.
What about in those times? Because you used to say when we were first getting together and you were talking about something about extending people marriage grace.
Yeah.
Was that a part of the whole uneasiness? What was the marriage grace thing? Was that a part of just defined roles, characteristics? Was that a part of
my phrase of don't extend marriage grace in a dating relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel like that's separate.
Okay.
In a dating relationship, sometimes we want to give like more concessions than what's probably like necessary, and definitely like more than necessary than what's for like a good, healthy relationship, right?
Right.
Like, well, like we give excuses and reasons and we fill in a lot of the blanks without fully knowing this person, right? Also, we have no commitment to this person. Like, we're just dating them. And the point of dating is to say, like, do I want to spend more time with this person?
Right.
Like, do I like the way that I feel when I'm around this person? Do I like the way that I feel when I'm not around this person? Like, we're not in each other's company.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm thinking about them, do I like that? How do I feel because of my interaction with them?
Yeah.
I don't want to use the words like, how do they make me feel? Because we're all in charge of our own feelings.
Right.
You know?
So they can't make you feel anyway.
Yeah, but like, how do I feel when I think about, you know, our interaction and things like that?
Yeah.
Right. So while you can't make someone, you can influence how a person feels, right? So how do they influence me to feel, right? So you have no commitment to this person. Like the dating is to see, like, do I want to continue spending time with this person, right?
Right.
So when I'm working with clients one-on-one, you know, and they're sort of questioning these things, I have to remind them, like, the point of dating is to see, like, do you want to spend more time with this person? And whether you arrive at a yes or a no, the dating was successful.
Right.
Right? Because if it's a no,
then you got out early.
Right. If it's a no, then like that was the point of it.
Right.
That was the point of dating.
Right. Dating is not the commitment.
No,
dating is not the marriage.
So we're assessing, we're constantly assessing, like, do I want to spend more time with this person? Like, how do I feel, you know, about them? How do I feel about myself? How do they influence me to feel? How do I, you know, influence them to feel?
Yeah.
Right. Once you've made a commitment, and I do a lot of pre-marriage counseling, you know, and I'm like, congratulations, like, you've decided to involve the government in your relationship. That's all that a marriage really is.
Tax purposes.
Yeah, like
tax purposes.
It's the legal part of marriage. Like the legal part
help out
of marriage.
with IRS. That's what that's for.
Right. The legal part of marriage is like you've been involving the government in your you know, relationship. But in that, like, you have made a commitment to one another, like, we are going to work it out. Like, we want to work things out.
Yeah.
Right. We want to work for and towards one another.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a different level of commitment.
Yeah.
You've both decided, yes, we want to spend our lives together. We want to join our lives. Like I always say, like, oh, we're a parcel, we come together.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. So we are joining our lives. We've made a commitment to join our lives.
Yeah.
So you're going to give some things then, because you have made this commitment to one another. So you're going to give more grace in those relationships. Now, should you be giving like just like passing out grace like it's candy at a parade? No, you should not be doing that.
Either person.
Either one. Like that. Yeah. That doesn't mean like let things slide. That's not what that grace means.
No.
But so you, in those relationships, you would give more in those committed, like, married relationships. But also, like, I don't think that like you have to be like legally married to be in.
That's not the definition of marriage. No. Like, there's a legal definition of marriage, and I think going back to the Lees, you know, I think too many people confuse the legal definition of marriage with the spiritual definition of marriage, you know, and there is no marriage license that is equivalent to the spiritual commitment I have for you.
Right.
You know, so I don't need to stand in front of the justice of the peace to give my commitment to you, because my commitment is to God, to you. It's not to the state of Georgia.
Right.
You know, who but see this, but that whole thing of the marriage grace, and that's why I think that when people go in thinking about the partner, the husband-wife partner, and they're thinking from that role, if they use that as their main defining goal or their main defining focus, that's where that marriage grace starts coming in, and you start sliding yourself over here, removing some characteristics or some specific needs or some specific focuses just because you're like, oh, I want this person to fit this role for me.
Right. Or I want to fit this role for that person.
That too.
I want to fit this role for that person.
Because there are a lot of people who will do that too. It's like they want so badly to be a husband, wife, whatever, that they're like, oh, I'll be whatever you need. That always ends great.
Well, like, imagine a relationship where like you don't need the other person. Like, you just want the other person. Like, you can support yourself financially and you have community and, you know,
Well, that's
you
one
don't
of choice.
like need, right. Then it's like, because I always, not always, but like a lot of times I'll say like what you need, you use. Like what you need to use, like,
yeah, like
you
that.
know, we need a vacuum because we're going to use our vacuum.
We're going to use the crap out of it.
Yeah.
Well,
we need our dishwasher.
Yeah, we're going to use the mess out of it.
Because we use it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the difference between that, like, I don't know. I was about to say high-end sports car, but I ran out of a good metaphor. I didn't like where that was going in my brain, so we're going to cut that right there.
All right, another question. This one says, what worries should I have at the beginning of a dating relationship?
Well, that starts with you. Didn't I answer the last one first?
What worries should I have at the beginning
concerns, things
of a
should you look out for?
Dating, you said. Yeah. Relationship/dating.
What type of things should you look out for? Are there personal flags, major red flags? As we know, answering questions, we tend to think very differently about what they mean and where they go. Yeah. So I'll let you go first on this one.
I don't, I live my life in the gray area. So I want to say, like,
don't ask you a yes or no question.
Worries. Right. I don't like the word worries in here. But maybe to answer it just like it's written, worry is like, maybe it's like, am I being my most authentic self? Like, do I feel comfortable being my most authentic self? And that if that answer is no, then maybe I need to like consider why I don't feel like my most authentic self.
I think that's one we kind of thought of in the same way, although I'll answer it differently. Because you're saying, am I my most authentic self? My question there, worry there is, especially in the honeymoon phase, not in my most authentic self, but am I allowing things not to be what would be great for me authentically just because I'm in the honeymoon phase or just because I want this thing to work or just because I want to be here or I don't want to have to search for anybody else. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to have to go to the movies by myself or travel by myself, Yeah. So you just start letting things slide and go.
That's that grace.
That's that grace.
Yeah.
You just start letting things slide and go because you're like, well, everything's good right now. But eternity's a long time not to be yourself. Shoot. 15 years was a long enough time not to be yourself. So,
right.
Like, it's a long time not to be yourself. So that goes back to that thing where you rather just cut it off and call it a day.
Yeah. Like I said before, time is the one thing that like you're not getting back.
Nah.
No. So if you are thinking like, I don't think this is it, and you start to think that more than you think that it is it.
Yeah.
Or like you think like, oh, maybe this could be it. Right. If you're thinking like, I don't know, maybe this is it. Person like, oh, I don't know, maybe this is it. Right. Like those are two different
But
things.
how that's true. That's true. I don't think this is it is different from maybe this is it.
Or it's
that
like, is this it? Versus, is this it?
Versus,
Right. If you're questioning that.
Yeah. But how do you know when it's different from you're just questioning it? Like, realistically asking a question where you're like weighing pros and cons and you're trying to decide if this is it versus just sabotaging yourself.
Remember that thing I said the other day that I was going to butcher if I tried to remember what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I found it. 1 second. Just a second.
Do I need to fill up the air with some talking?
The biggest green flag is when your nervous system, intuition, and your values all agree that this is a good person to build a home with.
Say it again.
The biggest green flag is when your nervous system, intuition, and your values all agree that this is a good person to build a home with.
So the biggest green flag is when your intuition, nervous system, and what's the third one?
Your values.
Values. Okay. Say this is a good person to build a home with.
Mm-hmm.
All right, first, I'm parsing this down in my mind. Now, when we're thinking about build a home with, we're thinking about like the figurative.
Creating a life with.
Okay.
Yeah, creating a life.
So we're not physically building a home or buying a home. It's just.
No.
Like I told you, I'm parsing it down in my mouth, my mind. I'm processing out loud here.
We're not construction workers.
Hey, I don't know. You might have to do it on your own the way these prices are. But so value system, I understand that one, right?
Yeah.
Intuition and nervous system. Explain those, especially with like intuition, because I think people can get worried with the intuition thing, especially depending on how you align spiritually. Like if you're very rigid or very conservative based, the word intuition might speak of something that people don't necessarily feel comfortable with. And I don't think that's what that is saying. Saying I'm intuitive is not saying that you're devoid of your connection to God. So when you say intuition in that sense, like what are you meaning?
I would interpret this as like your gut feeling, your inner knowing.
Okay.
That's how I would describe it.
All right.
Yeah.
Are intuition and instinct similar? I wouldn't say they're the same. Are they similar?
I mean, I think maybe they're could be closely related.
Okay.
But I don't think your instinct is your intuition.
No.
Because sometimes, your instinct is a behavior that you're going to engage, right?
Yeah.
Getting way off topic though. So
such as how I roll.
So the biggest green flag is when your nervous system, intuition, and your values all agree that this is a good person to build a home with. And this is like young Pueblo, who has written a book.
So then that means that is the difference of knowing if you're questioning it really or self-sabotaging yourself.
Your nervous system would be your fight, flight, freeze.
Gotcha.
Or fawn now.
What's the last one?
Fawn.
Fawn? What's fawn?
Like just being like sort of like laying down.
Isn't that freeze?
No.
We adding too many stuff here. Like you got freeze could either
think
be
of a deer or fawn.
But I'm saying that freeze could either be like I'm frozen or I fall on the ground and I roll up like I'm in fetal position. That's freeze.
But that's now you've just described
fight,
like a
flight, freeze, fawn, or fetal. Like
go on. The biggest green flag is when your nervous system, which was your fight, flight, or freeze,
or fawn.
Right. Your intuition, which is like your gut or your inner sensing. I'll call it your inner sensing.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And your values all agree that this is a good person to build a home with.
So in the realm of, is this a good thing or not? That would be what you would use to determine whether you're sabotaging yourself or if you're just really questioning.
I think it could.
Because that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about the person out there who might be like, they're in a good situation. They're in a good scenario. And it does make them happy. And they're in a good place. But they've been in this place throughout their life where they just have the baggage back there.
Yeah.
And trying to figure out whether this is good or bad. And there is a growth period. There's a change period you have to go through getting to the point of saying, I deserve something good. I deserve a positive relationship. And if they haven't worked their way all the way through that, or they're still in the process of working their way all the way through that, then what is the line of delineation of knowing, okay, this is a reasonable question because
so before you go more in depth to that.
Yeah.
I think that goes back to the idea of dating starts with you working on yourself, you dating yourself first.
Okay.
And knowing yourself first. And if you're coming off, you've had a string of relationships that didn't work out, it's probably a wise idea to assess what went wrong there and maybe some inner work. Right. Some self work, because I've heard it put that dating before you get over past relationship is like buying a new mattress and putting it on top of the old mattress.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
So
nasty old skin cells
it's disgusting. I think what you're describing is that idea though, or that concept, right? Because if you said self-sabotaging, right? So if you've done the work on yourself and you know your value systems and you're paying attention to your nervous system and your intuition, you're inner sensing, then you're going to be farther down the line.
Okay. Okay.
So I think like first dating starts with like you dating yourself and you spending time with yourself. If you don't know how to be like with yourself, how can you be
you
with
got some problems.
someone else?
You can't be alone.
Right.
If you bore you have issues.
And anyone who's worked with me in this realm, and you have heard me say 1,000 times, it's better to be lonely and alone than lonely and with someone.
That's the truth.
Right.
Don't I know?
Yeah. So
don't I know?
So that book is on my list. And full disclosure, I have not read it, but it is on my list.
Oh, we gotta put that on your list to read then. Cool.
So here's another one that was good. One of the same person. One of the healthiest habits to learn: trust your nervous system when it repeatedly tells you that someone is not for you.
Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
I like that because that's the thing,
Yeah.
I knew,
Yeah.
You just have to trust it.
Right. So if you're trying to make it, find reasons to make it work. That's probably
that's
good
already
indicator.
there, right there. That's already your line, right there. If you're trying to find reasons to make it work,
or 6 months in to a dating relationship, we probably need to.
If it's like, but he blah blah blah, but she's blah blah blah, you've probably already hit an issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we have a good time when we do this.
But I don't want to start over.
Oh, if you ever say that.
I hate the apps. Like, I don't want to start over.
Yeah. Oh. I tell you,
I know that they
the start
can
was
do
better
it
than the
because
finish. So yeah, let's start over.
Yeah.
Start over.
Okay, cool. Another one?
No, we got to save something for the next one.
Okay.
That's it for today.
All right.
And then we'll get to the next one next time. So, what do they need to know about us?
What do they need to know about us?
Yeah. What do they need to know about Shift?
Shift is the place where you can just come, and I describe it, as I was telling you today, I describe it as a supportive coaching group for daters and people wanting to improve and grow their relationships.
Okay.
Right. So this is a place where, and we are exactly how we are here and in our real life. And this is our real sitting room.
It's our real sitting room.
Where the group is met.
This is how we would be dressed.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This is how we go out.
Yeah. This is how we stay in. So, and it's a place where you can get that support from other people who are in the same, doing the same thing that you're doing and trying the dating world. And it's just good to have that community when you're not the only one.
Yeah.
And there's others out there that are saying and feeling the same things that you're saying and feeling.
Yeah.
Who are experiencing the same things that you're experiencing.
Definitely so.
And it's a great place to come. And as far as I'm aware, we're the only co-ed led dating group in the Atlanta area. As far as I'm aware, if someone else knows of that,
maybe we're not.
Yeah.
But if we aren't.
But if they are, they're hard to find. Right. I can't find them.
We're the most fun ones if we aren't.
Yeah, we're the most fun ones. And we let them ask us questions.
Yeah.
Last time we had an all-female group and they were asking you all kinds of questions in person, in our group me.
Yep.
And you answer authentically and honestly.
Authentically.
Yeah.
Because one thing we say, if you've told people, if you don't want to answer.
No. If you don't want
whether that dress looks fat.
Right. If you don't want to know, does your butt look big in these jeans? Do not ask you.
Because I will tell you the answer. I don't have the time to make up the story. So we'll cut it here. We'll see y'all on the next one.